The Redskins sent their college scouting staff down to Mobile this week to take in all the players at the Senior Bowl. When the NFL season ends, things pick up for scouts, and all things are focused on April's NFL Draft. For the Redskins, Director of College Scouting Kyle Smith takes charge for the next few months as the team works on building their draft board. Smith explained that he told all of the Redskins regional scouts to get locked and loaded for the grind between now and the draft. Any clarity that we need to do it, we need to figure it out, Smith said to Redskins.com. Asked what he watches for most during the Senior Bowl, Smith said that wants to see if the effort in person looks the same as it does on tape. Competitiveness, Smith said. Every reps, are they competing? Some of the biggest opportunities at the Senior Bowl come for small school players, Smith explained. Last season, University Texas San Antonio edge rusher Marcus Davenport turned a strong performance at the Senior Bowl into a first-round draft selection when the Saints picked him 14th overall. Smith said he pays a lot of attention to the FCS and smaller division players in Mobile to see how they compete against Power 5 school players. It's an opportunity to judge their talent, but also their mentality. It's their first exposure against top-notch players, Smith said. It's a good spot for those guys. It's also key to watch how players move, particularly along the offensive and defensive lines. Athleticism can help a prospect in the NFL, Smith said, and seeing that in person during agility drills can provide a good window into their ability. The Senior Bowl gets played Saturday, but Smith's work is just getting started. More Redskins news. If you expect the Redskins to select a Hall of Fame caliber player at No. 15 in April's NFL Draft, don't hold your breath. Only one player in NFL history that was taken at the No. 15 slot in the draft has been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That would be defensive tackle Alan Page, who was selected by the Minnesota Vikings in 1967. Page enjoyed a 15-year career, the first dozen with the Vikings and the remaining few with NFC North rival Chicago Bears. He was the 1971 NFL MVP, a 6-time first-team All-Pro selection, and a 9-time Pro Bowl selection, before being enshrined in Canton in 1988. However, that does not mean that the No. 15 selection has not produced quality players. Longtime Kansas City Chiefs and current Oakland Raiders linebacker Derek Johnson was selected by Kansas City at No. 15 in 2002, and could find his way to Canton one day, although it is no guarantee. Johnson is a 4-time Pro Bowler and was selected to first-team All-Pro in 2011. Jason Pierre-Paul, who gave the Redskins plenty of trouble during his tenure with the Giants, was selected by New York at the No. 15 spot in 2010. JPP is only 29 years old, and still has football ahead of him. The Redskins have selected at the No. 15 position just 3 times in franchise history, with the most recent being 18 years ago. That 2001 selection was used on wide receiver Rod Gardner. The Clemson product lasted just 4 seasons in Washington, producing only one 1,000-yard season in 2002. After his tenure ended with the Redskins in 2004, Gardner bounced around with the Carolina Panthers, Green Bay Packers, and Kansas City Chiefs over the next 2 seasons before he hung up the cleats. The other 2 Redskins selections at No. 15 came before the Super Bowl era in the 1951 and 1962 drafts, where they selected Alabama defensive back Ed Salem and Arizona wide receiver Joe Hernandez, respectively. While no player drafted by the Redskins at number 15 provided a significant impact, there's one player that was drafted at No. 15 that impacted the Redskins franchise for years. That would be defensive tackle Albert Haynesworth, who the Tennessee Titans drafted at number 15 in 2002. Haynesworth signed a 7-year, $100 million contract with the Redskins in 2009 with $41 million guaranteed. We all know how this story ended, as Haynesworth only appeared in 20 games for the Redskins, totaling just 6.5 sacks over the 2-year span. In the past decade, players that were selected with the No. 15 pick have trended in all sorts of different directions. But for the most part, many of the recent number 15 selections have panned out well. Center Mike Pouncey was selected by the Miami Dolphins at No. 15 in 2011, and made the Pro Bowl 3 times during his first 7 seasons with the team. He signed with the Los Angeles Chargers this past offseason, and was a vital piece on the Chargers' offense that finished tied for 6th in points per game. Pouncey earned his 4th Pro Bowl nod this year. Running behind Pouncey was Chargers running back Melvin Gordon, who was also selected at the number 15 pick. Gordon has faced injury issues throughout his brief 4-year career, but has proven he is one of the NFL's top running backs when on the field. In 2012, the Seattle Seahawks selected linebacker Bruce Irvin, who was a solid contributor on a Super Bowl-winning team. In 2013, the New Orleans Saints took safety Kenny Vaccaro at No. 15, who was an above-average starter for the Saints for 6 seasons before signing with the Tennessee Titans this past offseason. The Pittsburgh Steelers selected Ohio State linebacker Ryan Shazier with the No. 15 pick in the 2014 draft. Unfortunately, Shazier suffered a potentially career-ending injury in 2017, right as he was establishing himself as one of the best linebackers in the sport, while the No. 15 pick from 2010 to 2015 provided quality starters and Pro Bowlers. That same slot has not produced nearly as much success in the past 3 years. The Cleveland Browns selected Baylor wide receiver Corey Coleman at No. 15 in 2016, but Coleman was never able to establish himself. The Browns shipped him to New England in the middle of training camp last season, and the Patriots released him about a month after the trade. Coleman was signed by the Giants midway through 2018 after their unit was depleted by injuries. Coleman is now a restricted free agent. The Indianapolis Colts selected Ohio State safety Malik Hooker at No. 15 in 2017, and so far he has given mixed reviews. Hooker showed promise his rookie season before tearing his ACL, causing him to miss 9 games. This season, the Colts switched to a 2-safety deep defense, similar to the Tampa 2 defense that the Buccaneers made famous in the early 2000s. With Hooker responsible for just half the field, many teams respected his ball-hawking skills and did not target his side, limiting his ability to make a big play. The most recent No. 15 selection, Oakland Raiders offensive tackle Colton Miller, had a very rough rookie year. PFF graded him at 48.2 for the year, which ranked 67th among the 70 offensive tackles with 400-plus offensive snaps. Miller was selected as a project but has a lot to improve on in order to become even an average NFL tackle. So, who will the Redskins take at number 15? In his latest mock draft, NBC Sports Washington's Ben Standig has Washington selecting University of Michigan inside linebacker Devin Bush. The Redskins have needs at many different positions, so the direction they choose to go with No. 15 is still plenty in question. More Redskins news. With questions all over the roster and currently an incomplete coaching staff, the Redskins find themselves with plenty of holes to fill. The team still needs to find a linebackers coach, and there is some question if Washington will be able to get a new contract done with defensive line coach Jim Tomsula. Beyond those spots, there is zero certainty about the quarterback position for 2019. Colt McCoy looks like the Week 1 starter while Alex Smith has significant work to do to make it back from a serious leg injury. On top of all that, the Redskins have 4 starters set to become free agents when the new NFL calendar starts in mid-March: Adrian Peterson, Jamison Crowder, Preston Smith and HaHa Clinton-Dix. It's arguable which players the Skins need to re-sign and which players the team can let walk. Peterson was Washington's best player in 2018. Smith is an athletic pass rusher in a league that doesn't have enough. When healthy, Crowder is one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. Clinton Dix is a former Pro Bowler that might be able to regain that form for a bargain, but according to Bruce Allen, those conversations won't even really get started until the NFL Scouting Combine in late February. Speaking at the Senior Bowl, Allen explained that the Redskins contract guru Eric Schaffer has begun some conversations with the pending free agents, but no major progress should be expected until the Combine. Allen did not provide specifics about what players' representatives that Schaffer has engaged in conversations. While it's customary for the Combine to serve as an unofficial incubator for NFL executives and players' agents to begin fleshing out the free agent market, the Redskins do have an exclusive opportunity right now to try and retain their own free agents. Particularly, a player like Peterson might be inclined to get a deal done before free agency opens, given a contract serves up enough guaranteed money. Peterson was impressive in 2018, rushing for more than 1,000 yards for the Redskins and playing in 16 games. He will turn 34 in March, and when true free agency opens, there will be a number of younger but less accomplished players available. Last season, Peterson did not get much interest on the free agent market and didn't even sign with Washington until halfway through the preseason. He's the type of player that might appreciate the continuity of staying with one team. Again, assuming the money is right, Smith would be crazy not to test free agency. He'd be in line for a big payday, even after a statistically down 2018 season. He can get to the passer, and teams pay big money for that. Crowder is harder to figure out. He's been very impressive in spurts of his 4 seasons with Washington, particularly his second year when he logged 847 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Last year, however, he played in just 9 games and dealt with a number of injuries. Clinton Dix won't generate early interest. Washington would be smart to wait and see what his market looks like before making a decision or contract offer. The clock is ticking on the Redskins' exclusive window to talk with their own pending free agents, but it doesn't sound like the team is too pressed to speed things up. That changes at the Combine. More Redskins news.